created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, February 9th, 2023. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. In the NFL, people like to say that defense wins championships. And I guess we'll find out if that's true this weekend when two of the highest powered offenses in the league square off in the Super Bowl. And I guess if I had to come up with a bodybuilding equivalent to defense winning championships, it would be conditioning wins shows. And if the sneak peek we saw from Urs Kalecinski earlier this week was a true indicator of what he's bringing to the Arnold Classic in March, Ramon is going to have his hands full, because Urs looks like he's about to bring the heat. From the moment the official lineups were announced for the Arnold, it's pretty much been a foregone conclusion that we're going to see Urs and Ramon end up battling it out for the #1 spot here. And all things considered, if Urs has the edge in conditioning and everything else is equal across the board, that might be all it takes for him to bring home the title. Even though he's flown somewhat under the radar up to this point, it might be worth keeping an eye on Urs Kalecinski in the classic physique division at the Arnold as he heads into the home stretch of his prep, because the former champ looks like he's coming into Columbus firing on all cylinders. To a certain extent, Alex has been somewhat of a forgotten man in the division over the last 2 or 3 years, which can probably be chalked up to the influx of new talent that we've seen filter in. But let's not forget that his resume includes wins over some of the best guys in the division. And when he's at his best, he can be one of the best physiques out there on any given night. So if we get Championship Alex completely dialed in and ready to go, he might be in a position to give Urs and Ramon all they can handle. We also have a brand new update for you today from our reigning and defending 3-time Olympia champ, Andrea Shaw, who was spotted putting in a little bit of sweat equity earlier this week at the East Coast Mecca. Don't let the fact that we're still a few months away from our first women's bodybuilding action of the season fool you, because the reports that we're hearing from Andrea's camp about her off-season progress have been nothing but very positive. And they believe that if she's at her best, no one else in women's bodybuilding can even come close to touching her right now. All things considered, Andrea is quite possibly the most dominant reigning champion that we have in any division right now, because the gap between her and everyone else is similar to what we saw about a decade ago when Iris Kyle was still at the peak of her powers. So unless she intentionally decides to take her foot off the gas, it's tough to imagine a scenario where she doesn't walk away with a 4th straight world title this year. And last but not least, we have a sneak peek of what's going on behind the scenes in Andrew Jack's camp as he gears up to put the finishing touches on his Arnold Classic prep. Out of all the names that are getting lumped into the top group in the open class, Andrews might be the most intriguing because of the fact that he still only has a handful of shows under his belt at this level. Plus, when you add that to the fact that he finished in the top 10 at his Olympia debut when he was admittedly not at his best, it opens up the possibility for him to make a huge impact with his performance here. Because if he goes out there and completely crushes it from the word go and finds a way to land a spot in the top 3, now all of a sudden it changes the entire narrative from here on out, because it means we'll have to start talking about him as a legitimate title contender down the road. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.